Good morning from Giovanna.
Good morning from Ernesto.
Welcome to all of you of Erasmus Plus. Today we're going to show you our territory in our newspaper, Aversa Times.
Aversa is a city that is in a famous territory, Agro-Aversano.
We can see our territory. This is the red area, which is called Agro-Aversano plus Cassa Domitian. Here the trash is dumped and then fired, and similar events occur in another area, which is the blue area, which is called Regilagni. Regilagni is a network of artificial canals which collect waters from the river and the rain, and it is from the riverheads of Caserta, Napoli, and Benevento. And this is a territory in which there are around 100 towns and a population of 3 million people. And the longest canal is 55 kilometers long. And the Regilagni are an important hydrographic resource of the eastern Pianura Campana, and the Clenia, which is the major Lagno, flows through the plain and to the sea in a point between Lago Patria and Volturno River's mouth. And there are 210 kilometers of secondary rivers that follow the main path. Clenia was born from Noah Hills, but nowadays it doesn't exist anymore, even if it still flows on the heart, fooling Lago Patria. And the Borbonic Canalization project moved the river curves a little up to the north, and its Latin name was Clanius or Glanius, and since 1610 it has been called Lanius Regi. And anyway, nowadays Lanius Regi isn't full anymore by river water, but just by rain. Although Regilagni are invaded by trash, there still are some uncontaminated areas, as we can see from the reportage video made by our friends Giuseppe Sassano and Nicola Bosco. Now my job is over, and it's time for my friends Ernesto and Michele, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
Thank you for the images. Now let's talk about another topic. Terra dei Fuochi comes from the Rapporto Ecomafia 2003, made by Legambiente, and later used by Roberto Saviano in his bestseller Gomorra. In our territory, the Camorra has a significant role in the waste disposal business. Since Campania doesn't have almost any organization that does waste disposal, most of the time there have been open air dumps. Our territory was not the paradise, but the air we used to breathe was not toxic. There were no toxic fires, and we used to spend a healthy rural life.
Garbage disposal is not cheap, so most of the time it is easier and cheaper to use illegal ways to get rid of the trash. Our region has been affected for many years by what we usually call NIMBY, not in my backyard. NIMBY is an attitude shown during manifestations and protest marches. People who have this kind of behavior are afraid that something is going to happen in the territory near where they live. So they gradually stop protesting.
The Agroversano, also known as land of Regilagni, used to be a fertile land with lots of grape trees, asparagus, tomatoes, orchards, and other plants. It's really important and necessary to manage and improve the entire recycling process in order to reduce the environmental impact and garbage production.
Here's the result of what's going on our territory. Are eco bowls, pyramids everywhere. Now our friends Benito and Clementina will talk about biodiversity.
With a little help from everyone, we could all do difference together and save our territory. Safeguarding our territory means to keep alive and save our biodiversity. Saving the biodiversity and its territory means to save our culture. Protecting our biodiversity means protect our typicalness. By protecting and safeguarding the biodiversity, we can end up saving the whole human race. So by protecting the biodiversity, we protect ourselves. The Agroversano and the lower area of the Volturno is a geological and environmental unicum. Once this zone was called Maremma Liternuna and was a swamp. This area has its own flora and fauna that are slowly going to disappear. In this area there were woods, swamps and marshes. Where there was a typical hydrophile vegetation, there were also a lot of aquatic birds.
In the wet area, there were black and white pollars, white willow, elms and other types of plants. Instead, in the humid area, you could find pines, holm and typical Mediterranean vegetation. Now we are going to show you a reportage video made by Teresa and Nicola about our typical products.
Here we are in the regional nature reserve of Volturno's Mouth, Licola's Coast and Falciano's Lake. We came here to show one of our typical scenery where there is a boggy habitat with a specific biodiversity. We met the people in charge in the oasis and we talked in particular to a natural sciences teacher who works in Naples University, Mr. Alessio Usai.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. And so, Alessio.
My name is Teresa and I'm a student of Liceo Scientifico Enrico Fermi in Aversa, and we participated in Erasmus class. Okay. Dear doctor, what is your role in this state?
Okay. I'm the leader of this area. I have the responsibility of the whole natural regional reserve, where located the wetland, international wetland of Variponi. This area is a wetland near the line coast of Tyrrhenian Sea. It's an important wetland because we are an high biodiversity. More species of birds, more species of flora. We count here more than 236 species of birds. and only this small area represents the most important birding areas of the Campania region. Maybe the southern Italy, if you think that the regional checklist of birds have more than 300 birds, only in this area we counted more than 200.
Can you show us this area, please?
Yes.
Thank you. You in this area you can see the line coast. In that way, the most important marshland of the Variconi areas. This is a marshland permanent, and in this part of the area you can see the typical vegetation of wetland areas. There are Juncus, Phragmites. In that part you can see Mediterranean flora, and the other there are the center of the city of Castelvolturno. Laws that protect this area, and in this way we preserve the biodiversity. We conducted more studies in flora and fauna of this area, more studies, more research in several groups of animals, aves, odonata, birds, dragonflies, and butterflies. In this way, we monitoring the different level of biodiversity, and the change every year and the impact of human.
Laura, ti ma io l'ho fotografato.
Hello, my name is Laura. Hello. Here we are in our ringing station, and the work we do here is scientific ringing of birds. And what is scientific ringing of birds? We are studying birds' migration, you know? So we used to come here every week and trap birds with special nests. You can see it everywhere here. And then the people, we take these birds into these nests, which are very special, and they don't hurt birds. And then we bring the birds here inside of this place, and then we used to take some biometric measures, like the length of the wing or the weight and other measures, and then we put a little ring around their leg, and this little ring is upon this ring is written a little code, which is a combination of numbers and letters. Yes, we identify the species, and then with this ring we give a name to the bird. Okay. Then we put free the bird, and then this bird is free to live his life. And because of the migration, which is the phenomenon that bring birds around our country and all the world, these birds during their migration used to meet other stations like this. So other workers took these birds from their nests, and they can identify the code of the bird. Esatto. And these birds, they can trace the travel of the bird, and it's nice to study the migration. Yes. This is our work.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks to our friends Nicola and Teresa for making this excursion, and now we will broadcast another reportage made by other friends. We will show you the supply chain of mozzarella production. The reportage we are going to introduce shows the supply chain of mozzarella production. Mozzarella is a typical cheese of our territory, which is produced with buffalo's milk. Buffalo's mozzarella has very ancient origin, and it's strictly connected to buffalo's presence since 11th century in the marshy plains which extend from Regilagni to Volturno's river. As we can see, buffaloes live in a typical rural area in a wild state in the Agua Versano. They constantly need water, so they live in a marshy habitat. After pasturing in the morning until midday, in the afternoon buffaloes enter the cattle shed when they are milked. This is the room where the milking is made. Milk is carried to the dairy. In this case, we went to a popular dairy in Aversa called La Marchesa, which exports mozzarella cheese in all Europe, especially in the UK. Milk arrives in tankers and it is moved in silos, which are storage bins, where it is pasteurized. After being pasteurized, it is carried in big containers, where it is added the serum, Tucayo, which is rennet. After making the curd, it is separated from the serum so that only the paste remains. Is then grinded and got ready to be kneaded. Here we can see a big vat in which paste is divided from liquids. This phase is followed by another one called mozzicatura, which means to cut off, from which comes the name mozzarella. We have showed you the normal process so far. Now these are some pictures from the industrial production. From the following picture, we can see other typical dairying products like provola and caciocavallo cheese. Now, here we are in a famous Aversan restaurant where is prepared a typical Aversan dish, mozzarella with tomatoes and rocket. Thanks for the reportage to our friends, and now we're going to introduce you another typical product, Asprino wine. Our friends Giuseppe and Eleonora went to Bourbone Winery to interview the managers of the company.
Here we are with Nicola Numeroso. He is an ex-student of the Liceo Scientifico Enrico Fermi of Aversa. Now we would like to know what does your company produce.
Okay, so our is a company of wine, so we make wine from the countryside to the bottle, so the wine to the bottle. Our company starts in 1982 with the work of my grandfather. We produce several kind of wine, but our specialty is Asprino di Aversa. Thanks to my grandfather, the Asprigno was recovered and recognized to obtain the AGT, and after a lot of hard work, the DOC, that are certification for a particular certification of the wine. Follow me, so we upstairs can see some images of the production.
We would like to know what is the Vino Asprino, the Asprino wine, and also to know what is the Vite Maritata. Can you explain this to us?
Asprigno is a typical and ancient, very ancient grapes of the Campania, that is our territory, and more particular is the farming of these grapes, because it is married with a long tree, and it can grow until 15 meters. And for that is called Vite Maritata. So as we can see, there are some workers on very long stairs. We can see our workers, also called Spider-Man, not really like the superhero, but really similar and very dangerous. And you have to notice the length of the stairs.
Where are we now?
We are 15 meters underground and in a tough cave under our company, because it was built by my father in 1992, and where we are starts the fermentation of the wine after all the other steps of the production, and the fermentation of the wine continues until March, and after March we will put the wine into the bottles.
Where are we now?
We are in our historical archive, and here we stock each year several bottles of the production, and in that way we can see the transformation of the wine into the years.
Can you show your final production?
Sure, we can enter to the magazine. Have several kind of wines, also other wines that aren't Asprigno, but now we can see the bottle of Asprigno. We have an extra brut sparkling wine, another sparkling brut, another sparkling, frizzante is called, and in theory now I have to show another wine that that I haven't here, because we already sold all the bottles. And the last one is Santa Patena. Is also the last wine that we made, because we start to make it in 2011, and is another kind of elaboration for the vite maritata. Because we sell this wine not only in Italy, but we export also in Canada, in the USA, in Japan, and in European community.
Thanks for your time. See you in the next time.
Sure, you are always welcome, and thank you very much. And one last thing, ciao a tutti I miei professori.
This was Aversa News, and we are
Benito,
Clementina,
Giovanna.
Ernesto, Michele.
Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed this video. And a special thanks to Giuseppe Della Gatta, who helped us making this video. And now we're waiting for you to taste our typical products, and we hope you like it. Enjoy your meal, and bye.
Bye.
bye bye!